everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode. And it is going to be a wonderful episode of Tech Talk Tuesday. It's Tuesday. You're here. Actually, I'm looking at the count. No one's here. Neil. Neil, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, but I wouldn't write checks that can't be cashed there, dude. Like, I don't know if this is going to be a wonderful episode. Like,
I do. I feel really good about it. You're here. That's all that matters. It's the 25th. I mean, we're almost at the end of the month. I feel like we're entering into summer. Everyone's excited. People are starting to get out of school here soon. If the show sucks, it doesn't even matter. As long as the atmosphere surrounding this day has been good, then I think it'll be good. But going back to our old school format today, man, feels a little bit weird, but we don't have any videos.
That's right. We're gonna throw it back here to about a year ago and how we used to do things and see how it goes.
Yeah, and don't worry, Chad and and Aaron and anyone else that we can rope into it. We'll be back next week. But yeah, this week we're just flying with the old browser. So you're welcome. So, yeah. First up, let's take a look at this story about, of all things, the Xbox. They're actually revealing that there was an Easter egg. One of the developers has waited 20 years to say, "Oh, you guys missed one," and it's pretty intense, right? Did you read through this, like the code?
Yes, I did. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So you have to go in to like try and rip a CD on your Xbox, and then have Timmy with 26 Ys and then an exclamation point at the end, and that's what kicks off this Easter egg. Which, I mean, why they thought anyone would ever find this is ridiculous. Like he seemed surprised that somebody hadn't had found this, and I was like, okay.
Right. Like we're all idiots or something. Oh, right. Yeah, can we go back to that's The Rock?
Yeah.
That's The Rock, probably back, let's see, 20 years ago. My God. I mean, he was probably there was no such thing as Dwayne Johnson probably at that time.
Probably not.
And that was Bill Gates before. Never mind. Anyway, so yeah, it's just crazy to see that. Also, I'm like, is that a reference, like a South Park reference, like the whole Timmy,
right? Yeah,
which would have been probably at its peak, maybe around that time.
Yeah. Interestingly, Seamus Blackley, and if you don't know who that is, he actually designed the original Xbox, has stated that, one, he didn't know that this Easter egg was a thing, which is even funnier, and two, that there's still another Easter egg out there that has not been found yet, and he has still not revealed how you can trigger that. So if you're looking to go treasure hunting, the Xbox still has something for you to find. Have fun.
Yep. So after the show, Neil and I will be on Twitch trying to discover the no, we won't. We're not going to be there. I'm hoping somebody else can figure it out. And then, much like this, we'll read the story.
Exactly.
So next story, man, look at this. The Federal Reserve is starting to talk about digital currency and maybe minting something of its own. What's your take on this, man?
They're about 10 years too late. I mean, seriously, but yeah, so I don't know, like this is really just kind of a push to match China, who's trying to do the same thing, really. Again, it's a little too late. I don't necessarily like the idea of a government having its own currency like this. It just kind of feels like they're trying to like latch on to like the cryptocurrency buzz a little bit, which, okay, cool. Like you and I are obviously big proponents of cryptocurrency, or at least what it's trying to do. Maybe not the environmental impact that it has, but like, at least what it's trying to do, like at its core. And so do I like seeing this? Yes, but I also don't necessarily want like governments to get involved in it either. So I mean, it's a little bit of like a for me.
it's going to be tough to buy a hitman if the government's tracking your crypto. I mean, it's just it's tough, or your drugs, or your, I don't know, whatever else, you know.
Yeah.
No, I totally get that. You know, it is interesting. Also, as a side note, right? You probably saw that China is really cracking down, and I think they're starting to shut down like these huge Bitcoin mining operations and stuff. So it's an interesting juxtaposition, you know, of trying to mint, in my term, not theirs, but your own digital currency. Effectively, that's what you're doing, right? Instead of printing paper money, you're printing digital tokens, basically. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting, and if anything, it'll bring some more attention, I think, and awareness, and maybe some more fluidity of existing crypto. But I'm with you. I'm not really sure that I want them stomping around on that playground too much.
Yeah, I've seen some people say that, well, if they do like a blockchain or something like that, well, if they do that, then they technically can't, like, it's like a crypto, so they couldn't track it. And I was like, you're telling me that the US government is not going, if they mint their own cryptocurrency, isn't going to build a back door to figure that out? Like, you're telling me that? Like, come on, guys. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you're that naive, like, okay, but like, that's exactly what they're going to do, and they'll be tracking it everywhere it goes. Like, that's just what it is. So
yeah, can you imagine getting a stimulus check via like crypto? That would be kind of wild, but it would be instant too. That's kind of, I don't know. It's just like a lot of this is conceptually stuff that's, to your point, way late. Like, you know, like the digital currency kind of revolution, so to speak. That first wave has already crashed in, and you know, the people leading the charge on it, it's not us. And yeah, that's kind of sad, but I don't know. It is fun to see like more places, even that, like with PayPal and stuff like that, that you can pay like right then and there, or Venmo and things like that. It's all kind of like flavors of similar things. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how it goes, and when this crashes and burns, we'll be there to tell you.
that's right. That's right.
Speaking of things that are bound to crash and burn, buddy.
Oh, I know. It's Florida, and it's a Florida man, so you know it's good, right? Yeah. So Florida has passed, right?
Yeah.
Yep. They have passed a law in Florida that social media companies, or just companies in general, cannot moderate speech online in the state of Florida. Tell me how they're going to regulate that. Sorry. But yeah, so Governor DeSantis, obviously they're pushing this through. He and the Florida legislature are pushing this through in response to former President Donald Trump, obviously being banned off of Twitter. People are still angry about that. But yeah, I mean, this is a left versus right type of thing here. The important thing to remember here, and we talked about this on the show before, is Section 230. Section 230 actually protects, let me pull this up real quick.
Yeah, so this is the law. This is the law that actually isn't his administration the one that really pushed 230 through?
I'm not sure about that. I think it was before then, but yeah, well, basically Section 230 allows like platforms to basically say what they want and do what they want. Like, right. Again, they're privately owned companies. So again, they can do whatever they want. You sign a terms of service. If you break that terms of service, they can terminate they basically can terminate your account. And that's what they've done here. I think that they're going to have a very hard time with this. They've already said that obviously this is going to face like constitutional like issues. So, I mean, I just have a really hard time believing that this is going to go anywhere, but maybe it does, maybe it will. But yeah, so I think this is crazy. The fines are like pretty hefty too. I was surprised at how hefty. It's $250,000 per day for cases where they've barred a candidate for statewide office. So this isn't national. This is just like state. So like if DeSantis was running and said something and then got banned on Twitter, apparently Florida would fine them $250,000 a day past like 14 days. So that fine starts after 14 days of him being banned. So it's like, okay.
Is he just getting ready? Is this all just a master plot because he's getting ready to drop a message on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at the same time that's like so controversial? And I'm just kidding. Like,
can we just title it like Florida man goes crazy on Twitter or something like that? Like,
yeah, but how would you find it amongst the other news?
Well, that's fair.
No, yeah, this is super weird. But whatever. This happens from time to time, and it's not just a Florida thing, but a lot of people were suspicious that this was something like this was going to get cooked up a lot. And there has been a push for this even on a national level. Some people have said, well, you can't, do that. Funny to me, it's why is it the people that want small government that are also the first to want to regulate like private companies? But so that's super weird for me, but yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, well, wait and see what happens here. Apparently.
But you got super excited about the our last story, really.
That's right. That's right.
So talk to us about that.
Yeah, so Ford has come out over the last couple of weeks and said that, hey, we've got these electric F1 or F-150s rather. So they've announced the Lightning Pro this week, which is primarily focused on commercial fleets. So this would be like the government picking them up for all of their services, or like construction companies, things like that. So more than one car or truck is going to get picked up typically in these cases. Well, it's basically the same truck that you can get commercially just for yourself as well. So they're calling the commercial fleet like a Lightning Pro, but really there's not a whole lot of difference between the two. Like you can get both a normal and extended range. The ranges are exactly the same. The towing amount's exactly the same. The cab's exactly the same. Like pretty much everything is the same here.
Just the range, right? Like that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the range is even like
it's comparable. I mean, it's like 70 miles of range difference, I think, between the two.
Yeah. What's really neat about this is that Ford is claiming that it can lower maintenance costs up to 40% over 8 years and 100,000 miles. So that's huge. Like that's a ton, and that's compared to their EcoBoost. So like that's not even just like a normal F-150. Like that's their like most efficient F-150. So I mean that's really, really big. Yeah, I mean, I really like seeing this because I really like seeing someone other than Tesla come out with something, particularly because I'm not going to buy a Warthog. But yeah, I mean, and I think that Ford is going to be actually be able to deliver on their promises here. Like they have a production like flow.
Supply chain is good.
Like all their supply chain's fine. Like, so what they're promising here, I believe 100% that they will be able to deliver on. Whereas Tesla, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, Elon has come up with stuff, and Tesla has like hit a lot of bars recently. But again, like they tend to overpromise and come up a little short. Where I think that Ford may be underpromising here, and they may come in way above that.
I hope so.
Yeah,
this is huge. I mean, I think ignored for quite a long time, but like the truck market. I mean, we live in Indiana. I mean, in central Indiana specifically, and this has got to be one of the truck capitals, I think, of the world. And it's, I mean, pull into any restaurant, and it's like you start taking tally of kind of like what type of vehicles are around, and we kind of joked about that, but. I think it's huge. Like this is crucial to that crossover and crucial to the environmental plan, right? And getting everybody switched over. And this gets people comfortable in a format they're used to. And by the way, the pricing on this is not bad.
Dude, that's what I was thinking. Like it's cheaper than a normal truck, or at least the Lightning Pro is, which there's probably some deals built into that, right? But I mean, so if you're looking at the Lightning Pro, the just normal range, which is 230 miles, which is plenty of range if it's just like your everyday driver, it comes in at just under $40K. So
Yeah.
like super reasonable. If you haven't looked at the used truck market right now, this is an insane deal. The extended, which gets up to 300 miles, starts at just under 50K. So just a 10K increase there, which again, great deal. If you're looking at trucks right now, it's pretty hard to find any under 50K. So
especially in this class. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a great deal. Obviously, they're still a ways out. They're hoping to start shipping in 2022, so next year sometime. But I mean, still, this is huge. I mean, all of the large like vehicle companies are way behind on this. Like, and I'm finally glad that somebody's starting to say, okay, we've got to catch up, because if we don't, it's just never going to happen. So
I agree. Yeah, I think that their move with the Mustang was cool and interesting, but again, you're kind of trying to fight fire with fire a little bit. This takes it to a whole new level. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, and I'm not even saying I'm going to buy one of these, but I am super excited to start seeing this start happening in the market. So this is super cool. And I hope to see more companies start doing this as well. So,
no doubt. Well, man, I think that drains our swamp.
That's right.
I don't think I'm using that correctly. I don't
think you are, but yes, that does drain our swamp. But thank you for joining us on this edition of Tech Talk Tuesday. If you want to read up on anything that Matt and I talked about today, you can find it in the description below. And while you're there, go ahead and give us a like and follow us. That way you don't miss any future editions of Tech Talk Tuesday. We go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to join us live, participate in the chat. We love seeing that, and we would love to have you. We haven't been doing it recently because we haven't been getting any questions. So if you want to have your question answered on the air, we would love to answer questions. We used to do a segment that was a tech question of the week. We haven't been doing that because we haven't been getting any questions from you guys. So please give us some questions. That way we can answer them and spread the knowledge around. But with that, we will see you guys next Tuesday.